Hello everyone, and welcome back to our project where we build CRM system from scratch. So let's start doing some stuff. So last time we finished before doing the editing of the field. So let's first of all open our project and run our bond server and everything else. Okay. So before doing that, I'm thinking that maybe we want, first of all, I want to add ability to validate the code, because right now bun actually is not, when I run bundle like that, bun watch build and then specify the file and it will bundle it, it's not actually doing any type checking. So I was thinking maybe we need to add ability to do that before we're gonna do like a lot of cleanups on the code base. I wanna have the ability to validate what's going on. So to do that, we need actually to have, let's stop that for now. I wanna have something like run Typescript. Oh, sorry. So let's add a script basically. Let's add a script. We will call it validate, and it will be Typescript, right? So yeah, we have no omit option here in tsconfig. It tells TypeScript compiler to not create any JavaScript files and just do the type checking. So let's see, run validate. Oh, maybe it should be scripts. Yeah, command not found. And basically I wanna do install Typescript, and it will be save dev. Right, so I checked one installs. Is that fine now? No. Command not found. Maybe I need to move this TypeScript dependency to dev dependencies like that, I guess. No. TypeScript not found. So how do I do that? So I need to install Typescript. I thought it was installed, I guess. Install Typescript. Oh, now it's doing its job. Okay. Nice. Okay, nice. Now it's working, I guess. It even updated the TypeScript version, which is cool. Let's validate that. So let's do some kind of mistake and run. So yeah, it's now type checking stuff. Cool. Now I wanna do the same for the front end. Excuse me. To do that, I wanna say cd front app and TypeScript here, and also In tsconfig, I want to have the same no emit option. Like that. Okay, let's now make some mistake. Okay, so it's showing us errors, which is cool. If I fix it, yeah, so that's nice. Let's maybe commit all of that, so we have it nicely in a separate commit. Okay, it created file tsconfig tsbuild info, which is like a cache for TypeScript. I think we wanna ignore that with git ignore. Right. Okay. Okay. So we done that. Then let's see what we can do with the model. Let's run the model. Okay, we can hide the server and tailwind. So we have our stuff. We can open the edit model, and the thing is that it's too much code, right? It's too much code. So create model has a lot of code and edit model has a lot of code, and this is essentially the same code. So what I was thinking is probably I will just integrate that functionality into one function and have this single function support update and create. That's basically the idea, because most of the functionality is gonna be the same anyway. So instead of having like this huge function for editing, I'm gonna call the same function, but I'm gonna rename that to absurd. Instead of create, it will support update and create, right? And we will call that. And this function will accept the field that can work, right? This field existing CRM field, right? And this field is coming from render field used, and this field is coming from state fields copy. So it's coming from copy of the field, right? So we want to call it copy as well, field existing copy. Because actually, like, if I change that field, it will not affect the state. It will not affect the pipeline, and we want to know about that, to be honest. We want to know about that fact. Now, it can be undefined or not specified, rather, and if it is undefined, then we have create custom field header. Otherwise, it's gonna be edit custom field. Okay, so let's test that for now. So if I click create custom field, I have create custom field, and it's all working here, right? If I click edit, I have edit custom field, and it's also working, but doesn't have any values. So today is November 5 for me, and we will say add TypeScript type checking. We've done that. Reuse the same function for creating and updating fields. So that's what we are doing right now. And to do that, we want to set fields initial values, right? So I want to set fields initial values. So when I open this edit model, I want to have value here, label called candidate name, right? And the type should be text. That's what we want to do. So maybe I will do it after everything is done. Over here I will say set fields initial values. Maybe to not confuse with field, I will call it UI initial values, right? And field label, I want to get this input. Field value is gonna be value field existing copy label, if this guy is not undefined. Right. Elements model custom field. Okay. Yeah. Is my banner run validate? Is it compiling? Okay, it's fine. So let's see if I have it now. Yeah, so it's setting the value for the label, and let's do the same for the type. Select field type. It's gonna be value equals field existing copy type, right? Let's see, text. Okay, and drop down is pick list. That's fine. So we've done that. Then we wanna load the bottom part of the screen. So when I click pick list, I have this bottom part. Render bottom part of the card of the model. So to do it, we want to see what is going on. First of all, in the field type, on the change, we see if it's pick list, then we render a bunch of stuff, right? We render a bunch of stuff. So probably I wanna take this guy and actually go ahead and trigger this event. Basically, I want to take this reference, put in here and say trigger, or how do you call it, dispatch event? Yeah, like that. Right. So now I have my bottom part of the model rendering. That's fine. And now I want to set, for the pick list options, I want to have some values, right? Because that's what they have. They have values. So we have these inputs with pick list options, and we can say we want to take the field, I guess. Take the field, pick list values, and iterate over these guys and set them to the pick list options. Well, if the pick list, if the field type is pick list, yeah, I'm not checking the field type here, that's fine. Okay, and let's say value is gonna be this guy. We wanna get the input, pick list options I. And we want to say value is, well, input value is value. I guess that's how you want to do it. Well, it's not working for some reason. Oh, yeah, because we don't have them rendered yet. So they're gonna be rendered after the change field, the change event has been processed. So let's say timeout. Right. Nope. Not working. Oh. Oh, I guess my build is not working. Yeah. Now I see what is going on. Okay. Now I see. Okay. Okay, we have pick list values. Let's say, first of all, let's maybe try without the timeout first. See how it behaves. Can set properties of undefined, setting value. So we have a none, A and B. Oh, so we set properly for none and A, but we don't have any other option. So maybe we don't need timeout first of all, I guess. Well, maybe we do need. Let's see. Can set properties of undefined. So we don't have the third option, right? We don't have the third option. We want to render as many pick list option inputs as we need, I guess, to be able to render existing field values. Right, so we want to go and find in the content. Let's maybe move this guy a little bit higher because it's confusing. Like here. So in the content, we want to have in the field type. So if it's pick list, right? If it's pick list, we are we're creating options here, like that, right? We're creating options, and we are only creating 2 of them. That's my point, right? We're only creating 2. And we want to create as many as we need, right? So there should be like a loop, I guess. And this amount will be actually math max field existing copy. Well, if it's field existing copy is undefined, then it's 2. Otherwise, it's a maximum between pick list values Well, we can do like that. Length and 2, right? So if we don't have existing field, we render 2 options. If we do have existing field and it has pick list values, we take either 2, or if it's longer than 2, then we take the longer length of the values. And for each, so for every step, we wanna do the rendering, right? We wanna do the rendering, and we wanna do once we rendered it, we wanna put it in the list, I guess. So we can pass nodes to this guy, array of node. So we can do that. Right. And we can say nodes push this guy, push this guy, push this guy. Then we're gonna push this option. Oh, I guess like that. And then after all of that, we wanna push that stuff. And then we can just pass nodes here, I guess. And we no longer need these guys. Yep. Oh, and we wanna save the references. Right? So that way we initialize nodes and we put them in the container for the rest of the fields and we good. Let's see, are we compiling? Yeah, we're good. So now we're talking. But we have this none value, which is not what we want. Ideally, let's go to our journal. So we set values for the pick list options and we render as many of them as is needed, right? Let's try maybe removing the timeout. Oh, so we are working without the timeout. So that's nice, actually. How is that possibly working? Because until dispatches this and returns true if either event's cancelable attribute value is false or its prevent default method was not invoked. So I guess, how is it possible that we can set options values without waiting for change event to be processed? Is the event, maybe the event has been processed, so maybe it's synchronous. Let's maybe see. So it's setting pick list options values, and I don't see a log actually. I don't see the log here. I guess my LSP server has died. So this guy is not being called for some reason. Oh, that's interesting. So actually, processing this event is not asynchronous, it is synchronous. It's guaranteed to be synchronous because the return value of dispatch event indicates whether any of the listeners which handled the event called prevent default. Since the return value indicates whether any of the listeners that handled the event called prevent default, the method must block until all the listeners are done executing, which is the definition of a synchronous call. That's cool. That's cool, guys. So we don't need any of that. Right. Okay. Oh. So we are good with this guy. Basically, we are using successfully the same function. One thing that I want to remove is do not push none value as a value, basically, in pick list field, because right now we're actually pushing it to be able to render the drop down. But now I'm thinking that we don't need to have it as a value. We can just render it, and then we will not have this problem with this none to be being as a value. So let's do that. Value pick list option none. But leaves it is always added because we want to have some value selected anyway. So that's wrong. That's wrong statement. Insert custom field. So if you are creating a field, we do not want that actually. And when we are rendering it, I guess we need to render it always as a as an empty value, but it will not be in that memory as a field value. So let's do that. Well, it will be empty string, and the text will be pick list none, right? And then we will get option, and we will say this. Right. And then like that. So now we only want also to delete this from our test values, I guess. Okay. So now we're good. Now we're good. Cool. And now if we change the field name and click save, we're actually getting like a new field instead of changing the existing field. So instead of creating a new field, we want to update existing one, right? So it's gonna be in controls, in save, I guess. Over here. So we are creating a new field. Well, it's gonna be like if field existing copy is undefined, we are creating a new field and pushing it into the state. And if it is not undefined, then we want to find the field in state, I guess. Field found in state. We want to update label. We don't want to update type because in begin as well, like you cannot change the type of the field, right? So we don't want to do that. We only update label, which is field label. Then is mandatory. Let's say field is mandatory. Right. And also pick list values. Right. Let's see. So I want to change my drop down field label. Okay. Oh, but it's no longer mandatory. I see. So we are not rendering the... okay, we will fix that. So we'll just write it down. Field is mandatory checkbox with value as well. And if I change values, click save and click cancel, I'm gonna have new values here, right? So that's good. Okay, so is mandatory. I guess we wanna say checked equals field existing copy is mandatory, true, right? So if I edit mandatory field, we have our checkbox. If I save it, we still have it. If I uncheck it, we don't have it anymore. So it's working. Nice. So we update correctly and we fill the is mandatory properly. Nice. So basically we are done with editing, I guess. The only thing that is left is we don't want to make this field type editable. So disable the field type drop down on edit. Right. So we have disabled stuff, which is nice. Yeah. So basically our editing works and the ability to edit the field, we successfully made it. Let's see. So we removed the none value, which is not needed anymore, and let's see, for the none, removed a bunch of code, which is really nice, I like it. So for the none, we also changed that function. So let's say remove none value from the memory of the field. We render it, but never keep in memory as a value. And I guess that's also important. Maybe not that one. Maybe yeah, this is important as well for that commit. So I just, group together whatever makes sense to go together as a single commit. And the next part is basically absurd. So we changed create an edit to absurd and we deleted edit completely, which is really good news for us. Yep, all of this code goes away. I love it. What is that? Oh yeah, we don't have it anymore. Nice. And we can say remove edit model edit field model, transform, create field model into absurd model. Right. Okay. So now we have we deleted almost 500 lines, which is really good news for us. I would like to go now and maybe do some more cleanup. Let's check if we are even compiling. Yeah, so it's working fine. Right, it's working fine. The only thing that I see is like we are always rendering this red stripe, which is not actually correct. But we can fix that later. Whoa, that's interesting. That's interesting. So if the field, if pick list value is empty, like I wanna actually remove that, right? If pick list option is empty, we want to ignore it. We want to ignore it actually. So here we initialize pick list values, and if value is length is 0, we just ignore. User is not interested in this value anyway. Right. So now, if I say like that, I no longer have it. If I go and add one more, I have it. If I go and remove it like that, I don't have it. That's cool. That's cool. Okay. One more thing that I see is like we don't have edit icon, delete icon for the third option, which we should actually. If I click add, I have this icon. So add delete icons for all the options starting from third position, maybe second position, right? So when we are rendering stuff, we wanna say over here we actually pass it icon delete show, true or false. So we want to say if the I is icon delete show equals I less than 2. That's basically how we calculate it. Right, now I can, well, no, not like that, actually the other way around. So I more or equal to, right, so I can delete this guy and all good. If I clean up this guy, I cannot do it, so that's fine. That's how it's supposed to work. Okay, so basically we can amend this commit to the previous one. And for now, I guess we don't want to render this stripe on the in create card model. Do not render red stripe if the field is not mandatory. Right. So let's open the creation model, and over here we have render field pick list, right, and class input border mandatory red strip. That's what we don't want to do. So field is mandatory, then like that, otherwise no. So now if I remove mandatory flag, we no longer have it. Cool. Nice. So today, guys, we actually made a lot of stuff. We added type checking to be able to identify any compilation errors. Then we made a bunch of stuff to be able to edit the field and reuse the same functionality. We removed a lot of code because we no longer need like extra model for that. And we fixed a bunch of little tiny details, so that's all good. And let's maybe archive our journal now. So I have a bunch already. Well, that's a wrong month actually. That's actually 0.909, and this guy will be tens Alex. So when the month is done, I'm just moving this to the archive, and I have nice history of what I've been working on in October. And here we'll just have some latest month work. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, and we can push. So thank you everyone for being with me today, and I will see you on the next video.